Well, hello and welcome back. It's been a fair few weeks now since I uploaded my last video, but I am absolutely gobsmacked and amazed and truly humbled by the number of subscribers to the channel, and that's all down to one person. That's Stephen at Elvenholme. And Stephen, I want to be a big shout out to you. Thanks so much for your support, and there you go. So I've got a doorbell ringing. Well, I'm back. That was a friend of mine from down the road. He has a 00 gauge in his lad's shed, and he popped in to have a look, see what I was doing in this mess. Anyway, right, as I was saying, massive big shout out to Stephen. Thank you very much. I've gone from 22 subscribers to well over 100 now, so I never expected anything like that. So, but thank you very much to all of you that have subscribed. I hope I'm worthy of it. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. So this video is a bit of everything really. Just a bit about how I'm putting my points in and trying to control them. I've also done a bit of scenic work because I've been waiting for several bits to arrive. I've also had delivered today, really pleased with this. I've had the Digitrax DT6020, so I'm looking forward to using that. And I've also splashed out on a the whole Digitrax bit with the controller. Gonna get that sorted out, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm finding operating the switch points using the DR5000 a bit of a nightmare. I must admit, I didn't realise how much work I was giving myself, and when you're new to the hobby and you read all these things up, you think, oh yeah, that's where I want to go, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you look around and you pick something and then you find out that you can't really use it. I probably will end up using it, but at the minute I'm more likely to use a handheld controller. I've been looking for one of these, and I thought, well, it's my birthday, so I treated myself. So yeah, that's something I've got to read up and install. I've also been doing some wiring work. All the points now bar one are wired up. The track isn't yet. There's still the TMD to do, and the scenery. I've got loads to do, so it was a case of it's a mix and match for this one, but mainly I wanted to get this out to say a big thank you to Stephen, and to everybody else really that's given me some advice and cheer me up as the nights are getting a bit lighter. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to show you, and any advice, any comments, I will respond to every single one of them. So hope you enjoy, and Dale Convower. So I just thought I'd show you how I fit the MP1 point motors in. This is where it's going to go. I've already marked the throw there, and I've just moved it to one side so I can drill a hole there. But what I've also going to do now is just mark the drill there and drill there, because then I'll be able to know where the point motor sits underneath. So it's going to sit along there. That line gives me the angle that I want, and I can then draw a line and position that directly underneath like that, so when it throws it moves either side. The first thing I'm going to do is drill a large hole, move that to one side, and this will be the hole for the actual point. that side, and do all that, then hoover that mess up. I'm going to just change drills. And then I'm going to drill a smaller hole there and there, and then I can get underneath. With a pen, and I can draw a line on the board underneath so that I know where to line this up underneath that. The next thing I'm going to do then is to strip the end of the wires ready to screw into the motor fixes here. So very quickly strip that off, and this will be the cable that sends the signal to switch you over. And then they'll be connected into the switch area here on the MP1. The next bit I need to do now is to set the MP1 to engage. So you loosen the back of the screws, or loosen the screws on the back I should say, pop that open, and you'll see in there, you'll see a little, bring that close enough, you'll see a little pin on that side. That's what turns them on. I need to put that into that hole there because that is the one for the end gauge. So very carefully, this is the tricky bit. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try and get it in focus for you. But basically I've got to pull that one out there, which is refusing to come out at the minute. Let's try and get another set. It is, and pop it into that one. So you can see I've dropped it into that end gauge there one, and then replace this very carefully, line it up so that the pin which sits in there drops in. That's the one, and then tighten that back up. And then that's good to go. The next step now is to put the rod in, so I just need to grab one of the little rods, loosen off the front, and then drop that into the hole there, tighten that back up before I lose the screw. You can see now that's the rod that will move the point over, but because it's not activated yet, that's now really, you can't move that. So now what I've got to do is fit that from underneath. So I present it to the hole, so it comes up there, but at the same time I need to make sure it goes through the little hole on the point itself. If I hold that down, you can see that's going to move over back and forth. So by leaving that there in the center, then I use my little clamps to hold that in place so that I can then get underneath and screw that on. So the screws are extremely tiny. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll try and show you, but you can see the size. That's my smallest screwdriver. You can see the size of them. So they're extremely tiny. Fortunately, they will sit on the end of the screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that. So I can get underneath and screw that in. So I'll just get that done now. So I've got one in, and what I'm now going to do, now I've got one in, I can release that and I can just make sure I can finely adjust these so that by moving the rails I'll move the point. I know that's going to be, there's plenty of room for the arm to come through. It only travels 3mm because it's N gauge, and the hole itself is a 9mm, so I'm giving myself plenty of scope. Just going to get some more of these little screws out. Plenty of scope for me to be able to manoeuvre around underneath. And this proverbial issue with all my trails that I can think of is getting underneath it, and I am out of puff, but there you go. I am 63. And that's it, and it's still got plenty of throw, and it's lined up because I did the line underneath. It's all lined up perfectly underneath that, so yeah, that's all good to go. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just thought I'd show you that. Next stage now is this wire's got to be passed all the way through underneath and back to the control. And the control area is just down there in the round, so you can see down there I've got my 4018, which is the box that's going to throw all the points on the fiddle yard anyway, so I've just got to get all the way around and back to there. So yeah, that's how I do the points for the MP1s. So I've now pulled the wire through, as you can see here, and I've labelled all the others. I'm just going to print this out. Very handy too. Thoroughly recommend one of these little printer things, because before I wire all this up, I can now put a little label around that. That tells me where that's coming from, which number it is. So that's number 15 on my points, and then I can just snip that off, and that's going to go into switch number 5 on here, because I've only got 6 of these, sorry, and they'll go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 that can fit on there, so we only need 6. And then this bit of wire I've got left over now will go work with my surface mounted ones. So yeah, so that's how I get all that done. Can't do that yet. I need to program that before I fit it in together. That's another video probably, if I can get it done. So what have I been doing? Well, what I worked out I had to do, I needed a bit more light in here, especially under the shelves. You can see what I've been doing is installing these little LEDs in here. I should have planned for this before I put the shelves in, but I've done it that and then I've installed a better form of doing the switches, so I can switch everything off as I want. The LEDs work from this one. You can see they go off, and they do make a heck of a difference to the light. It's got a dimmer on it, quite good actually, nice little nifty little dimmer on it, so I can dim them down if they're too bright, or even switch them all the way off from there. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It gives plenty of light for me to work with, especially when I start doing work over here, for example. It just brightens everything up for me. Something else I've been doing is I've cut the bridge apart now and created a little causeway on here because it was just too heavy, which meant I had to realign all the various bits and pieces, but now I've managed to fit them in a lot easier than before, and it's a lot easier to pick up and take out, so quite happy with that. Took me a bit to do. I've been working on this bend here as well, making sure that things don't fall off, and then working on putting the point motors on, so you'll see the little barrel sticking up there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's quite a few of them. There's 5 around here, and that allows me to have my little shunting yard. None of this is glued down yet, it's still all loose because I need to get the buildings in. But I've tested them using a couple of wagons and they work really fine. The other thing I've been doing then, a bit of modelling. I've started creating my little castle. The castle's going to go up there. I've got some walls to make and various bits and pieces, and then over here then I'm going to be putting a set of steps that's going to come down on a walkway, around and then down, and then underneath I'll just take this lot out here. Underneath that is going to be a lake here, and then it's going to come down another, then and from there there'll be another set of steps coming down, or a bit of a road, I don't know yet, probably a road, something to go up there. I might carve this out a bit more, and I'll let's finish this off, and a few trees on the back and grass, so that'll finish that corner off then. Then after that, the next job then is I've got to put all these surface mounted points on for these here. You can see that none of these are set, so I've just got to get in there and get all this done, moved over, so that'll be interesting to do. And then same there, that needs a surface mounted switch on, and all that's got to come back to the control panel, which is going to be here. So that's what I'll be doing, and I'll take some videos in between. I'm happy with the station. I've got my parcels office. That was from the model railway shop and in Norwich. These are discontinued now, so I'm very pleased I managed to grab hold of one, and that's going to fit on the side here, so quite happy with that. And that's another thing I need to make. So I've got a lot of model making to do. I've got some electronics to do, and I've got some more scenic stuff to do. So that's what I'll be concentrating on this month. But as the month gets warmer, I'll be more in the garden. Next big job then is once I've got all the switches working, I need to get the lights working on the models. So that's what I'll be up to. Okay, so I'm about to start doing some scenics here. Showed this very early on in one of my first videos, but basically what I'm going to be doing is building a castle up here. My niece wants me to build Hogwarts. It won't quite be Hogwarts, but it'll be something just as impressive, I hope. So the first thing I've done is I've covered the track with some masking tape. I'm then going to put some glue down around the back sections there, and then put some grass down and plant up with trees just to blend it into there. I've previously made some sections, cuts there where the walls are going to go, and then I'm just going to crack on with that, and then hopefully as I work from the back out, you'll see it start to come to life. Hope you enjoy. Leave it that for now. I've got a few bits of this stuff left over. When that's dry, I'll take the masking tape off, and then the whole idea then is that I can start putting all these together. So I've built this castle kit, as you can see, and I've got these different arches. The arches are going to sit, one's going to sit there like that. I don't know if you can see, I'll just turn the camera so you can see that there. Another one's going to fit on the other side, which is going to be there, just like that. So and then I've got these different walls that I've made up, but I'm not going to do them yet because I'm still awaiting one more kit, which is the gatehouse. That's still waiting to arrive. It should have arrived today, but it hasn't. But as you see, I've got these all made up ready, so basically I can get them finished, but for now I'm just going to let all that dry. So that's where we are at the minute. Bit of a mess, all mucking about, but immediately you put that grass on and the whole thing starts to come to life, so quite pleased with that. So watch out for the next video, which will be me finishing this section off, I've got to put some water in there. Yeah, thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed it. But thank you very much, and diolch yn fawr. Take care to stay safe. Bye.